They just use a contest or something.
Yeah. I like the biggest loser just first picking out like the biggest loser.
I'm like,
You should look at it was right when he said, like, our pants are busting in the seams. And we're both like, oh yeah, like holes in our pants. I've never been so heavy in my life. Yeah, I have never. Thank you. I am not my either of my pregnancies. Doesn't matter. May, how are you?
Good, you. What did you say, girl?
No, it's very good.
All right, now you're getting excited, right?
Okay. It was very good and great. And I feel like it got
Now you got to wait till you're asking Pete.
She might have, yeah.
All right, guys, how you doing? Good. So I'll tell you what, guys. How you guys feeling today? Pretty good? Yeah. All right, let's get this thing going. We've got 60 minutes of power. It's going to be the fastest 60 minutes in real estate. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Love the energy, but let's get rolling here. I want to respect your guys' time. We got a ton to go ahead and get through, and I'm really excited about today's meeting. Before we kind of get into the thick of everything, how do we typically start out our meetings? Right, I like the affirmations, right? Okay, so all of you boldites, right? What's one or two of your favorite bold affirmations? Just give me one out there.
I'm a money magnet.
Yeah, Leslie, how are you? Where's Bonnie? She stole it. She stole it. All right, so tell me about this.
We're all adopting that one.
I love it. It's kind of if there's not a background or if it's taken out of context, it can be kind of goofy because I'm a money magnet. So what does that mean?
That means that I do what I need to do to surround myself with people who are ready to spend some of it.
You can't argue with that. She's highly trained.
I love that one. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? I mean, I guess it's kind of your relationship with money, right? You know, I mean, it's one of those things that if I think that I'm always in need of it, I might not have it, and therefore always seeking it, right? So, all right, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna say I'm a money magnet on 3.
I'm a money magnet.
I'm a money magnet.
On 3. We'll get the basics in here. All right, 1, 2, 3. I'm a money magnet. There we go. I like it. All right, give me one more, just because I'm feeling best. Give me one more. Shouldn't have had the 5-hour energy drink, right? So give me one more affirmation.
What you focus on expands.
There we go. A little more energy, though, all right?
Yeah. What you focus on expands.
All right, next. So tell me, what does that mean to you?
I don't know, if you really set your mind to something and really put a lot of effort towards it, you can achieve it.
All right, awesome, man. All right, so 1, 2, 3. We're going to say what you focus on expands. 1, 2, 3.
What you focus on expands. I think that's a good one for that. Now the new year started, everyone's kind of refreshed, I guess.
I would agree with I think that it's particularly interesting today that you spoke about what you focus on expand, because what are we talking about today? Ignite's going to be definitely one of them, right? So what are we specifically going to be casting today? Business plan. Vision, right? So what we focus on expands. I mean, you guys have one sheet with a very bold lettering in there, right? What we focus on expands. I think it's pretty cool. All right, guys, we've had a couple weeks of holidays and family, and you guys were still pouring on the business during that time, too. So give me a couple of good things that have happened since the last time we got together at the team meeting.
I had my first closing and I have my second one on Wednesday.
So how did the first closing kind of work out? How did you find the buyer? Tell me a little about it.
The buyer was a referral from an SOI of Stephanie's.
Awesome.
They were first-time home buyers. We went through 4 different contracts before we got them into the right spot, and as it turned out, it was the best thing for them.
Great.
We had to jump through a few hoops to get it done, and we had some issues right at the very end that we scrambled, and closing was 2 hours late, but we got it done that day, so.
Guys, do you have to will some of these to the closing table? I mean, I'll tell you, to me, that's one of those things where you focus on expands. I mean, even when we're navigating through these transactions, I mean, you gotta just say, hey man, this thing is going to close, right? I mean, is that, Will's got a big smile. I rolled them all. Love it. Awesome, great, Leslie. All right, give me a couple more success stories out there. Pour some sugar.
Yesterday at the bridal show, we got 133 little warm guys from very excited brides who we connected with. So I'm really excited about hitting the ground running with that.
All right, that's awesome. Very good. So you got 133 contacts yesterday, right? So here's a little side note too, by the way, guys. Did you know about what's the percentage of individuals that are getting married are going to buy over the next year? Honey, Corey, you're not allowed to. Does anybody know?
I say 70%.
70% is exactly right. I'm like, how did you see the notes? Yeah,
I did not look at the notes, I swear.
Man alive, all right, you're going to get some lottery tickets right after this. I love it. So 70%, guys, that's a pretty big number. All right, and do you think that this is a pretty decent time to be focusing on that? Right? I mean, the holidays is one of the biggest engagement times of the entire year. And those that want to kind of get further to the know, June and October are the top 2 wedding months. So if I know, and by the way, here's the thing that I like about engagements. Do people keep that to themselves or do they broadcast it? They broadcast it, right? So would that be a good thing to communicate with your sphere of influence right now? But you know, they just got engaged. I'm best servicing folks that are getting married over the next short while, right? Pretty cool stuff. Thank you very much, Connie. Awesome stuff. Ms. Rob, tell me about what's going on in your world.
I cut back my hours at my salon, so not here more than 2 days a week. So that's a big change.
That's a commitment. I love it. There you go. So there's got to be a level of confidence that that income is becoming predictable because the activities are being predictable. Is that fairly accurate?
Yes. Yes.
I like it. Just demonstration given. I like it. What's going on?
I can't let Lisa Atkins team be quiet because they kept me
I know, there's some modesty going on
They
over
kept me
here.
busy the whole holiday, so it was great, and I know they are just knocking it out of the park. So.
All right, so for that setup, anybody want to
I'm
run
not
with
going to
that?
sit there and be quiet.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we got, NEFA was involved in 3 contracts out of 6 in a period of 7 days. And so that was really exciting for her because one of those was a contract that between myself and Sharon and NEFA, we can't possibly wait till it closes because it is going to kill us. Lord have mercy, we have all earned, well, we probably are losing money when it's all said and done after how many hours we put in, but it's gonna get closed, and so we were very excited to get that one done. But anyway, no, it's been, and I don't know about everybody else, but oh my gosh, this weekend, I've had multiple showings on high dollar properties again. Woo! After the, so I had a deal fall through, I've talked to a few people about this, it was $750 the day after the election because they were concerned about, oh my gosh, what's going on and all this. They, and then the fiscal cliff and so forth. Well, once they got past the fiscal cliff and they realized that the taxing was hitting at $450 and above, they came back and they're back probably rewriting on the $760,000 property. And then I've had, like I said, I had multiple showings on $500,000 homes this weekend, and I'm showing 3 of them tomorrow as well. So it's been, I'm glad to see the higher dollar too.
First of all, let's do this. Awesome job. And so, I think that's a pretty critical thing. I mean, in our household, I've been asked the question, what is a fiscal cliff? What is it? What is it called? Namely, how does it impact us, right? I mean, I think that's a very clear demonstration of how it's impacting the real estate world. That higher end is starting to be.
And you know what? When I called the seller on the other day, so the agent called me and said, hey, I think they're going to come back and rewrite. And I didn't even call my seller right away because that's kind of like a curse if you call them too soon. But when I did call him to reset after a couple days of the appointment, the first thing out of his mouth is he said, oh, they must be below the 450. He himself, he knew the same point. And so that is a big deal because the 250 people are at 250 that might be buying not necessarily $5,000 home, but still a higher. That is a pretty critical thing.
Here's the biggest thing, guys. I mean, we wanted some sort of a resolution there as a nation. And I'm not going to get on one side of the fence or the other. The biggest thing is that we've got more clarity,
Right.
less uncertainty, so that if there's ever one thing that you can remember is that a buyer with a question is going to say what? Yes or no. A buyer with a question that's unanswered is going to say yes or no.
So no.
That's why they're saying no beforehand, right? Cool. All right, I'll tell you what, guys. Diane, I love it. I want to dive in. Tell me more about it. This is going to be our final one, so I saved the best for last.
Oh, okay.
I really give you some.
No pressure at all. Just going with what you focus on expands, knowing your numbers was huge to me. You may be sitting and going, oh, shoot, I got to make some phone calls to get those 2 this month and 2 next month and 2. And I just want to share a little bit of really good advice I got about lead generation.
Cool.
I felt super guilty about calling my clients who I hadn't talked to in a long time. And then Kelly Hager gave me the best advice, and she said, well, have they been calling you? And I go, oh no. She goes, well, then don't feel guilty about it. Take the guilt out, and they're not your past clients, they're your clients. And those phone calls went so much easier.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that just kind of peeled back the curtain there. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's like, oh, why am I feeling guilty? They didn't do jack for me. So,
Well, but that's true because you know what, we do feel like, oh my gosh, they're gonna, wow, I haven't heard from her in a long time, but we know that we should have been contacting them. But they don't know that we should have been contacting them. So they're just like, oh wow, that's
They don't know
awesome
where
you
they're
called,
at to take a
yeah.
fly.
You know what, everybody who came into my open house yesterday was unaware of the market activity, and they were still in the mindset of the market being down. So I educated every single person that came through that door that, you know what, you're wrong. You're really wrong. So.
All right, perfect segue to this floor right now. First of all, I'm going to applaud that. Both Diana and Lauren, awesome stuff. Can you help me out? It's on the back of your calendar is the language of real estate. I've got to commend Miss Jackie Ladd. This is literally hot off the press. 5 o'clock last night, it came over. Jackie was able to go ahead and get this over to us, so we had it today for our team meeting. So guys, this is some pretty amazing stuff. Do you remember what my response was when you shot this over to me? Take out the profanity.
Oh, yeah.
Spell January wrong.
Amazing stuff. It just, in short, I was like, whoa, those numbers are pretty incredible. Are they accurate?
Right.
So basically, this is some pretty cool stuff going on here. First of all, let's applaud your guys' success of breaking the 1,000 barrier, 1,000 unit barrier. In 2012, first of all, I should say that you're one of 5 offices in the entire MLS that actually had over 1,000 transactions in 2012.
Where are the other ones, any of the Keller Williams offices in St. Louis?
Kirkwood was the other one, and then there was the North County Cole Baker office. They've got a lot of foreclosures and units and stuff like that. And then there's, I think there's the Prudential Alliance in Chesterfield.
Paul Murata had 500 of those 1,000.
So here's the deal. Taylor just has to come over, right? Just make it easy, right? All right, so anyways, awesome job with that, guys. #1 in St. Charles County as far as units goes, and a number of other categories, but as I mentioned, this is as of like 8:30, 9 o'clock today, we're whipping this together. Ranked #8 in sales volume in the entire MLS. And then here's something on here that we're not able to go ahead and post against the industry trends, because we can't go ahead and look at pendings this time last year, because what did the pendings do this time last year? They closed, right? So basically they're not there on the market. However, we can track our own. Our contracts written in December, over December of 2011, is up 64%. Yeah, right? Okay, so first of all, yeah, wow. That's awesome, right? So what is that telling you guys?
People are spending money.
People are spending money, right? What else?
Trying to get him in before dot loop kicks in.
What's that?
That is awesome.
Okay.
No, it's like, what's that?
Okay, all right. Not a bad idea. speaking directly at me.
I know.
I actually need to
I have
get
nothing but praises for it.
All right, so here's the deal, 64% month over month. I think that's pretty cool stuff, you know, and so to me, that tells me, I mean, we had some holidays, you know, right? We had Christmas, we had the New Year's, right? That tells me that you guys were present where you were at, right? So when you were at work and you're at the office, when you're with your clients, you were physically present there, right? Finishing strong. So when you're with your family, you likely weren't stealing from your family's time and when you were present there. Is that resonating? Could that be true? So I think that's a pretty key thing. I gotta tell you, I don't even know which number to look at here on the top bracket. All I can say is we're crushing the market in every measurable category. Here's what I see, guys. This is my interpretation, and the entire MLS, basically we had a stagnant December. I mean, there's single-digit growth in each one of the measurable categories, except for volume, went up 10%. I will say at least it's a positive trend, but nothing of any great significance. Should I at least tell my buyers and sellers that it's a positive trend?
Yeah.
Right? So definitely be doing that. Now what happened in our market center? Pretty much every category. I mean, listings taken volume, you kidding me? Outperforming the market by 370%. Listings taken outperforming 173%. I mean, guys, we talked about this where you guys are having a chance to really control and dominate that listing inventory. You guys are doing it. You guys have 414 listings. That is more than any other office in St. Charles County right now. 414 listings. I gotta tell you, that's some pretty cool stuff. Because listings are the quickest way to get to a sale, right? Here's another one, guys, that I love. Our activities, talking points at the bottom. Our activities are getting homes sold more consistently by outperforming the market. By 28% in closed units. But that's my favorite one, guys. Closed units is my favorite category. Every time this thing comes out, if I was an agent, I'd be focusing right there. Why?
True story.
Why do you say that, Lori? Why is that important to you?
Full story.
What's that?
Start to finish.
Results, right?
Right.
So, for a second, let me ask you about why you personally would care about closed units. There you go, right? That's when you get paid, right? Now, we all know that if you got commission breath, your client's gonna smell that a mile away, right? Front row's like, yeah, seriously, man, you need to really get some going here, you know? So here's the deal. Why would our clients care about closed units?
So that's how we make a
They want
difference.
their house sold. Do you wanna just list it or do you wanna sell it? Right? Leslie, you just talked about 4 offers, 4 different negotiations to help that buyer find the right property.
Yep.
That's the result, right? Did your buyer have an appreciation for actually accomplishing the goal?
Well, I have to tell you, all along the way, between insurance issues and lender issues, everyone disappointed them along the way except for us.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Something like that too.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily good for the industry as a whole, but I mean, it's great for you. I can't speak to that real quickly, just so you guys know. Another thing, kind of, I do have a luxury of this, is I get to meet with a lot of different agents, and what I can tell you is that our professionals that are out in the market, and I use that term loosely, probably aren't as professional as maybe you guys are. Does that make sense? You guys are treating your business like a business. You're treating your clients the way you would want to be treated. I was actually just listening to John Maxwell today. The golden rule is consistent in every culture. And I think you guys know that pretty well, right? So what I'm basically saying is that your successes in the past, or in your professional world, will translate in your real estate world if you let that, right? So guys, will you do me a major favor? Will you tell people about these numbers? I'm not saying it for me, I'm saying it for you. I mean, does this offer you more validity? And it basically says, hey, look, the things that we're doing in the market today are working. Hey, even put this on the top, because I want you to write this in on the top for one of those days that you're just feeling crappy. Right? And I hope crappy's all right. Not feeling so good, all right? are not a victim of the market. You are a victim of your activities. What does that mean?
Well, have to focus on expense. If you stay focused, you can generate.
If you focus on it, you can generate that business regardless of what the market's telling us, right? So if you put that out there, and I mean, guys, honestly, I would have this posted in my office. I'd be focusing on, truthfully, these are too many numbers for me to remember. So I would figure out one key in on that, and every presentation I'm having, it's coming out somewhere. I'm peppering it on every single client.
Is this coming from your broker metrics, or is this coming, you're pulling this off MLS? Only reason I'm asking is like, if we wanna look at our individual
Yes.
and compare our individual to, you know,
So-
cause
so
for some of us, the
MLS
individual would be better, some of us, it won't, well, not better probably than that,
Great.
but you know what I
Great
mean?
point. Exactly.
If you're not,
So MLS is coming directly from the MLS,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of the numbers from our market center is actually all of our reports coming in. So it's including our non-MLS as well.
okay.
I will tell the broker metrics, as far as the rankings, as far as the number 1 and number 8, that's coming from broker metrics. It's easier to pull from.
Okay. And we don't have access to that, right?
No, you don't.
Okay.
I mean,
It's somebody
the
I
only-
just
and the only
wondered.
way that I can actually, you know, it's basically pulling right from the MLS.
Mhm.
But if they've got non-MLS things
Right.
going on, then that could skew things.
Skew a little bit.
Yeah, okay? All right, guys, I want to celebrate with you, so please share your successes with this stuff, okay? Please share it with me. All right. Can I kind of dive into the vision? Is that pretty cool with you guys? You guys okay with that?
Yep.
So first of all, I really appreciate you guys being here, because it's really important to me that you know, I share this with as many people as possible, and I'm doing this for a couple reasons. First of all, who was at the team meeting that Kelly was at a couple weeks back, where she was talking about 1 through 5? Pretty cool stuff? So, I mean, what was kind of the point of what she was doing there, that 1 through 5, which by the way, it's GPS, goals, 1 goal, 3 priorities, 5 strategies for each one of the priorities, right? So, what was kind of cool about that? Did you guys take anything away from that?
What I got, John, was just continual training. Keep going to training, keep going to classes. That's what I heard.
Yeah, right. And then the other thing that I loved about it too is that you guys ever feel this way, where you got, you know, you have this generic goal that's out there, and then you start writing, you start brainstorming, and just things kind of come to you, and then all of a sudden you got this to-do list that's, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages long. Is anybody else like that, or is that just me?
Eating that elephant.
Okay, so what was that? Who said that?
Keep me.
What's that? Yeah, derail. All right, so anyway,
All right.
thoroughly confused right now. Okay, so basically,
One bite at a time.
what's that?
One bite at a time.
Okay, all right.
You know what? You might as well quit while you're ahead there.
So, all right, so how do you eat an elephant 1 bite at a time? Did I interpret that correctly?
Yes,
All right. Okay, moving on. So basically, how do you eat an elephant 1 bite at a time? The other thing too here is that I want to make sure that we've got extremely specific goals. Anybody here SMART goals? If you don't know what they are, I would highly encourage you guys to Google SMART goals. SMART, it's an acronym. SMART goals. So you guys, long story short, what I'm doing today, I want to model for you guys, because ultimately I know that if you guys put this into play, this is my business plan. You're looking at my business plan for Keller Williams Realty West in 2013. How many pages is this business plan? How many? One. So it's not 17 pages? One. So what can I do with this?
Give it to everybody.
I can carry it. I can put it, I can look at this at a glance on a regular basis, right? Every single day I'm looking at this thing. All right, so let's dive in here. So basically, what's my one goal? I should say, what's our one goal as far as sat down with Matt over the holidays, and we actually kind of hammered out some of these things, and there's, you know, more to go ahead and kind of elaborate on with this stuff, but what's our number one goal? This is an intelligence test. Can you read the giant? What is it? Increase profit share. Increase profit share to $300,000. Now here's the cool piece about our organization. So if we're increasing the profit share, do you think the owners are gonna be all right? Are they gonna be happy? Very Zig Ziglar. If they help enough people achieve their goals, they're gonna go ahead and achieve theirs, right?
Right.
So maybe they've got an owner profit goal too, right?
Right.
They don't hit that goal unless we increase profit share by $100,000. By the way, can we take a quick moment to celebrate something? This is pretty cool. Our second largest profit share month was last month, ever.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. $21,000. $21,000. So last year, we accumulated over $155,000 in profit share that went out to our agents. Pretty cool stuff, okay? So we want to go ahead and increase the profit share by 100% to $300,000. So the three priorities are, what does that say? Somebody just help me out there. Dive in.
60 plus.
Plus 60. So netting 60 agents. Adding an additional 60 agents. Why is that a priority in a market center?
More agents, yeah.
More
It's
profit.
88% correlation to profit. So if I was an agent, what might I put in there instead of agents for my own personal business plan?
Transactions.
Transactions, what else?
Contact.
Lead generation.
Listings, right? So just as you guys are bringing on an inventory of listings, it's the same thing as far as the market center. Listings correlate with profit in a business plan for agents. Clear agent success path. So to me, I mean, that is making sure that we provide the value proposition. So in your personal business, what might you want to do? Provide value, maybe? Accomplish your client's goals, systematize your business, right? Third thing here, allied resources. Increase our mortgage capture rate to 25% and title to 80% capture rate. How can we do that? I mean, am I just gonna roll with a stick and make you guys go ahead and work with the title company and the lenders?
No, we have to do things intentionally. We have to make sure that we're promoting people and that we're making sure we get good information out and that, you know, we explain the value of working that partnership to our agents and to our clients.
Guys, they're gonna subscribe to the same rule of thought that you do with your clients because you are their clients. They're going to be consistent in their communication. They're going to be making sure that they position themselves as the expert, the best choice in their respective field. And the third piece is that they're going to be coming from contribution in multiple different ways. By the way, guys, if that's what I would write those three things down because if you do those things in concert, you're going to get more business, right? As a sidebar, you know, anybody who rolls with a stick, typically the stick breaks, right? And it's used against you. But anyways, so here's the deal. So what are we gonna do? 60 net. So this is what we're gonna do. Did anybody ever hear the 2, 10, 40, do the 2? Can somebody describe that for me? Well, I have no idea.
It's 2 appointments a day, 10 a week, 40
40 a month.
40 a month.
So 2 appointments a day, 10 a week, 40 a month. Now you see that there's times 2. So right now, for those of you guys who are aware, I mean, I subscribe to something called 2, 10, 40. So I go on 2 appointments a day, 10 a week, 40 a month. And here's the really cool thing, guys, is that we're starting to see this translate into the realtors world. So what I mean by that is that Keller Williams International leadership has been subscribing to this notion for the last 3 or 4 years on a national level. Now, those leaders are modeling for their agents, and the agents are starting to do 2 appointments a day, 10 a week, 40 a month. Can I ask you something? If you want 2 listing presentations a day, or 2 buyer presentations a day, would that revolutionize your world? Right? I mean, I'll even gotta be a little bit more conservative with it, or give you a little bit more latitude with it. What if you wanted 2 appointments a day where you're talking with your allied resources or your sphere of influence? Bill, would that increase your business?
Absolutely.
How's that working for you?
Working pretty good.
You're building some pretty amazing stuff over there, aren't you?
I'm working on it.
I'm gonna lay a little accountability for you here, Bill. Everybody, I keep your eyes on the whole team this year. It's gonna be pretty fun, isn't it?
It's fun already.
Look at that, man. That's somebody stepping up to some accountability. I like it, right? I mean, doing some pretty amazing things. But what I mean here is that it doesn't have to just be a listing presentation. If you guys are actually going on appointments with your sphere of influence, asking what can I do for you, do you think that might help you out? Okay, so we're doing the same thing, 2-10-40, that's what we're doing, the team leader's doing out there. And then you see times 2 there. So what we're doing here is actually starting something new in the organization where our leadership's gonna be going on 2 appointments a day with you guys. What do you think about that? So basically the idea there is to make sure that you guys are getting heard as far as what your needs are, what's going on out